Hi there, my name is Kay Moon, and this is an astrology video update for the June 3rd new moon in Gemini. Thank you for watching this video. I am both a Western astrologer and a twin flame channel. So there's a couple of really interesting things about this new moon and the energies that it's bringing forward that I'm looking forward to sharing. If it has felt like the year got off to a slow start, like spring took forever to get here, it is here, and this chart shows it. There is change in the air in a big way. So I want to start with this energy here that I have been seeing, North Node conjunct Juno. It's a waning conjunction at this time. The exact conjunction was last week. And this would have been, with the North Node conjunct Juno, a draw for everyone on the planet toward partnerships and connections that really nurture us, Cancer, and bring us toward ways that we feel at home with ourselves, in the world, and at home with the area of the chart that Cancer governs. And this sample chart for this new moon, this would have been a drawing toward things that allow one to feel at home in the second house, which has to do with money earned and self-esteem. Now, with this draw, with the draw in this direction, it actually really makes sense because we have this new moon out here at 12 degrees Gemini. You can see the sun and the moon conjunction here and mid-Gemini. And this new moon, Gemini is about exploration. It's the sign of the twins. It's the opportunity for mirroring and seeing fully and clearly. But it also governs siblings, cousins, neighbors, and short distance travel. With a Gemini new moon, this really is the first opportunity that we've really seen so far this year for explosive exploration, for the opportunity to feel free and try something new, to break free of old ways. So this is a very exciting new moon because with this draw toward partnerships that serve us and allow us to feel very nurtured during this new moon, there are also some symbols going on that represent letting go and making room for new opportunities. We've got the trick, though, is that with Jupiter squaring off with Neptune here, the trick, though, is to be really wary of any self-delusion, especially this month. So this is, in the year of 2019, one of 3 squares of Jupiter to Neptune that are, you can see this is almost exact as Jupiter continues to retrograde back to, I forget which degree it is. I think it goes back to 14 degrees Sagittarius. It will hit the second of 3 squares, exact squares to Neptune here. And when you've got a Jupiter-Neptune square, the challenge is being able to see things clearly because Jupiter represents optimism, expansion, and hope. And Neptune here represents, at the lowest octave, illusion and deceit, trickery, not being able to see things clearly, things being kind of watery and difficult to define. And at its highest octave, though, in the light, Neptune gives us the opportunity for a deep sense of spirituality, deep connection to our emotions and to our intuition. So, the trick here with this square is to make sure that we are finding ways to be grounded so that we can stay in that spiritual expression of Neptune, because otherwise it's very easy to have the cart run away with the horse here, so to speak. So just keep that in mind as these new beginnings occur, that if you have a grounding practice, you're going to want to find your way to it, especially now in the physical world, because in this chart, the only fixed placements here are Uranus and Venus and the fixed sign of Taurus. And with Uranus, the symbol of change and revolution, breaking up the earth sign, the fixed earth sign of Taurus, creating new ways and new pathways forward, breaking up old patterns and routines. That's the way this Venus is expressing herself. Because Uranus, the outer planet, has a little bit more sway and more influence in the way things are expressed. So if a new love has entered your life, or a new attraction, there's definitely some precedence here for that being what's needed. Not only because there's the new moon in Gemini here, exploration, this draw toward partnership here, North Node Juno conjunction, this Uranus-Venus situation out here in the fixed sign of Taurus, they're just causing everything Taurian to move toward change, everything Taurian to move toward what's going to bring me into further exploration of what serves me, what nurtures me, ways that I can self-love and self-support here. And again, because that's the only fixed placement in this chart anchoring things, that means every other placement here is in a cardinal sign of initiation or in a mutable sign of almost doing what's needed, transformation. So with that, change is definitely in the air at this time. Trying new things or changing up the way old things have been in order to get a new result. That's what this new moon in Gemini is calling for in a very deep and significant way. Playing into that, we also have we're within some really key eclipse dates that I want to bring up so you can mark your calendars for these. So the South Node is really close to being conjunct the solar eclipse point of January 5th, 15 degrees Capricorn. And it's within the zone of the July 2nd solar eclipse coming up here. It'll be opposite at 10 degrees Cancer. That'll be out here. This year we've got Cancer Capricorn eclipses all year. And the eclipses on this axis are asking us to upgrade and up-level the ways in which we do the work we need to do to provide for ourselves and for our lives. These represent both this year and the start of next year. I think there's a total of 6 to 8 eclipses on this axis specifically. And if you are a cardinal sign, Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, Aries, or if you are an earth sign or a water sign, you're going to feel this the most. These eclipses have to do a lot with work and family, work and home, how we provide for ourselves and provide for those we care about. Changes in residence, changes in work, especially if you were working within an institution and then now you're starting to work from home as an entrepreneur or freelancer, or you were working from home and now you're looking at moving back into the world of specifically finance, government, or large corporations, banking. This is what's kind of called for and indicated here. But ultimately, these changes are really meant for all of us to transform the ways we're caring for ourselves, nurturing ourselves, making ourselves at home on planet Earth, and making planet Earth a place that continues to be inhabitable for humanity. So keep this in mind, that the changes are meant to be good, even though they can be a little bit jarring. They're really meant to serve our further growth and evolution. So solar eclipses tend to bring new beginnings, and we've got this solar eclipse that happened on January 5th with the South Node coming to touch that eclipse point at 15 degrees Capricorn. What you'll notice is that things are going to start to fall to the wayside that did not serve the new beginning that January 5th eclipse wanted to bring into your life. So if there wasn't necessarily a job offer or a work change that occurred January 5th, the opportunity for that change to come post this month, when this south node rolls over that eclipse point, is going to become more prominent, because space will have gotten freed up. Certain projects may have come to an end that will then allow space for this new thing to begin. Additionally, we had a lunar eclipse, and lunar eclipses take away things, they bring things to completion at 24 degrees Capricorn. We have that coming up on July 16th. And so that 24 degrees Capricorn is out here. It's going to be speaking in conjunction to Chariklo and Pluto. Pluto, ruler of the underworld and governor of cycles, life, death, rebirth cycles, and exchange points of transformation, the place where two become one, as in lovemaking or baby creation, the place where money changes hand and value is exchanged. Pluto governs all of those exchange points. And with Pluto and Chariklo kind of being the rulers of this coming eclipse in certain ways, this is the time to start making your prayers, setting your intentions. What is it that you would like to bring to closure? Be intentional about it, because if you're not, I found that divine invitation works a lot more smoothly than divine intervention. So if you'd like to say, hey, take this, not that, work with me here, because I still need this bridge job in order to create this new beginning and this new future. I'm willing to compromise in these ways, and start to work those prayers into your everyday living and into the conversations you're having and the agreements you're making. You start to work with it like that, you can start to bring forward the best of the eclipse before it hits. So that lunar eclipse, 24 degrees Capricorn, that's coming up on July 16th, but because this is the Gemini new moon, this is the opportunity to begin setting intentions for what it is you'd like to explore and bring to fruition, and bring into manifestation, and how you want things to express. So as I said, this is going to phase out work situations and patterns that no longer serve the people that we nurture, the way we're meant to take care of ourselves, because this is the realm of work, taking care of the realm of home. And there's going to be a similar energy coming up here, or there was a similar energy, I should say, that occurred on January 20th with the 0 degrees Leo lunar eclipse. So that was here, right here, that 0 degrees Leo lunar eclipse. So the process of starting to let go of those things that didn't really serve, that began in January, which is probably why this year felt like it got off to a very slow, heavy start for many people. This lunar eclipse in particular was about finally letting go of things that really took us away from our sovereignty, that really took us outside of ourselves. This would have been people, places, situations that were a bit of an outside influence, almost in a way where it was like we were compromising too much in order to be able to continue to be a part of them. So as those situations now draw to further conclusion and completion with the lunar eclipse, 24 degrees Capricorn, July 16th, and these solar eclipses bringing in new stuff, the trick here is to, as I said, stay grounded, because there is an opportunity for a bit of self-deception here if we're not intentionally doing the things that ground, anchor, and nourish our body, nourish our mind, so that we're stable and focused. And the other opportunity here, once we're grounded, is to very clearly say to the universe and to God, hey, this is what I'm trying to create here. This is what I really want, and be really honest with ourselves about what we're willing to explore, Gemini, in order to get there. So, super fun new moon. If the heaviness of the year has been weighing you down, this is the time to shake it off. It's a really, really beautiful new moon. Lots of hope and optimism here, especially if you look at some of the fixed stars. If you're an astrologer in that way, you want to look at the fixed stars sitting closest to the 12-degree mark of Gemini. And you'd also probably want to look at the Sabian symbols. I'm going to go into that in my twin flame video because they're especially relevant for twin flames. But if you're not in a twin flame or soulmate connection, definitely enjoy this energy of new beginnings because it is definitely upon us. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video. It'll help it get circulated to people who definitely need to hear this message. But in addition to that, I'd love it if you subscribe to the channel if this is content that you like receiving. Thanks so much for watching.